Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, I have such a good show for you today. Joining me today is friend of the show, John Witherspoon, attorney from DC. We love when he comes on and answers our questions, and we get into some really fun topics today. He's going to take our questions. A lot of you guys had sent in questions for him, so we'll talk about that. And what's up with Harry and Meghan, and what's up with this Netflix stuff? We have so much to talk about. But as always, make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my video. I sincerely appreciate it. Now let's get into the interview. And again, a big thank you to John Witherspoon for your time and your thoughtful answers to all of our questions. I believe you decided I don't give you enough of a hard time, so you revealed something about liking Star Trek. Talk to us about Star Trek.
What was the point with Star Trek?
I wrote it phonetically. I don't know if I spelled it right. Is it Kobayashi Maru?
Oh, the Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's become famous, and I don't think you're doing that right either.
Oh, I thought so. Is it?
I think I'll have to go look. I don't. I
thought
don't.
it was that. Is it not that?
That's close. I don't know if your thumb is supposed to be. I can't remember. No. You're...
What? Oh, that's the problem. Not that you watch Star Trek. It's that I can't do my hand right. Okay, please continue.
Yeah, there's a subplot that is woven through several of the Star Trek movies. I think they call it it's referred to as the Kobayashi Maru. It's
Okay.
basically it's a test of character.
Okay.
They call it the no-win scenario. No matter what you do, you cannot win. I think that's kind of the situation that Harry finds himself in.
Okay. With the
By
dating.
his own, he is in that situation by his own hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody makes him sue everybody.
That's right. That's right. And if he sues somebody, here's the thing, and this is the relevance of this. If he loses the case, he's considered a loser.
Mm-hmm.
If he wins the case,
He's still.
let's say he gets a pile of money,
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden, guess what? Yeah, that little so-and-so won a case.
Yeah.
And so there's resentment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so blinded by, I think, this need to set the world straight
Mm-hmm.
that he can't understand that he's in the so-called no-win scenario constantly when he goes into court. He cannot do something that is going to make the world like him better.
Yeah.
Even if nothing else, even for people who don't pay attention to his one-loss record, people look at him and say, "Why is he so litigious?" It's a fair question. It's a fair
Yeah.
question, and he seems to be very bent on fixing the world. And again, fixing the world in ways that are unfixable just because there are other people involved. And
Right.
there are to go back to what we said a little while ago, that there are the traffic signals that you have to sit through because the person in front of you didn't, let the clutch out in time. It's like the world is full of these little petty offenses
Mm-hmm.
and assaults on our human dignity that we would all like to be rid of, but again, you just can't live life that way. And I think he has a very hard time internalizing that. I think that's a
That
fair
is
point.
right. That is how you do it. Am I teaching you
No,
how
I
to do
think
Star Trek?
I think you do it like this with your thumb up against your
Oh,
index
okay.
finger.
'Cause that makes it less dorky than that. My God. So I guess piggybacking on this, something that again, I got to plug my other channel because it's something that's very near and dear to me and something I talk about a lot. But on Goose Adventures, my other channel, I go into my personal story, how I've lost a significant amount of weight. And so a topic that I got into recently is this whole idea. And I'm going to tread lightly here because it's about this body acceptance movement. And
Mhm.
while I've been different sizes and I understand the struggles and all that, I personally have a problem with the idea. I just don't believe that it's anybody. I've always maintained that it's my responsibility. I got myself into it. I got myself out of it. Nobody else's problem but mine. Nobody else to blame but me.
Mhm.
I just don't think Harry thinks like that. So the thought that I have is he's one of the people that would expect the world to change around him versus realizing, oh, I think I need to work on myself. What are your thoughts there?
Well, I think you're onto something there.
Mhm.
You're onto something. It seems like a stretch to make that kind of a comparison, but I think you're making a valid point. Um, I'm 6'2"
Uh-huh.
and there are times when I get on airplanes, even with my people back
Mhm.
in the back of the airplane where there's not as much leg room. I just feel like, okay, well, this is the way things are.
Right.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tilt at a windmill. I'm not gonna try to, fix City Hall or try to fix the United States Postal Service or I mean, the analogies are endless.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's the way Harry
Yeah. It's just
puts his
part of the
worldview.
reason to me that makes him so unlikable because he's unrelatable as a human being. It's not just he's unrelatable because he's related to the royal family. It's just he's a cartoon character at this. I don't know how else to say it, just angry. I don't know.
He is. He is.
Mhm.
Well, and I think that the sort of undercurrent of that line of thought as well is the fact that it's like, well, I'm a prince. Well, who cares? Especially in
Yeah,
the United States. Especially in the United States. I mean, no disrespect to you know the
sure.
the UK or anywhere else where there's a prince or princess or whatever it is. But I know people who have actually earned their way
Mhm.
to a position of power and influence and wealth and everything like that, and they still don't behave that way. They really
No.
don't. They really
Right.
don't. I mean, I think I've mentioned before. I peripherally was familiar with a member of the Marriott family who's about my age, and I remember running into her at the gas station one day, and she's pumping her own gas and um, hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's great. Nice to see you. Blah blah blah. Just completely non-pretentious in every conceivable way. I went to college or uni, as they say in some places. I had a classmate who was before it was folded into Boeing. Her last name was McDonnell, as in
Oh.
McDonnell Douglas,
Mhm.
and she was right in the direct line of succession for that family and that behemoth.
Oh,
Nicest person you ever met. Not
that's
an
cool.
ounce of pretense. No indication whatsoever of, oh, well, my, you know, father is a captain of industry and like,
Right.
just, I didn't even know anything about, somebody pointed it out. I had known her for, I think, close to a year. And somebody
Mhm.
said, oh, well, you know who that is. You know what McDonald is, don't you? I was like, no, what McDonnell are you talking? Well, it's
Yeah.
McDonnell Douglas. They
Oh,
they make a few airplanes. Like, oh. Well, I
uh-huh.
would never have guessed. I would
No.
never have guessed.
Mhm.
And mm, total respect to her, total respect to her parents,
Mhm.
total respect to the Marriott family. Uh, just a totally different way of approaching the rest of the world.
Yeah, I think so too.
from what Harry seems to
Mhm.
embody.
Yep,
Again,
definitely.
just 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 a random observation. He does
Yeah.
not strike me as a person who is interested or capable of dealing with the world just as
Mhm.
a normal person would deal with it.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
think that's part of the reason why we saw when I think it was Meghan who went to the theater in New York, and there were how many
Oh,
Range Rovers involved
it's
in the motorcade?
I think yeah, yeah, 4, I believe,
4
yeah.
or 5 at least. Like, who are
Uh-huh.
all these people? Who are these people? You have all
I
those people to get to traipse around with? Get a van. Rent a van. Hertz has vans, you know? Big whoop.
I gotta give you credit on that one because, that you stick with me on that one because, I've never taken an Uber before. I just never had, not out of any reason, I just never have, so I don't know how they work, but you were telling me you can easily book 4 Ubers and just line them up like that, and there you go. And that stuck with me is, I bet that's what she did.
Right, right, and it's like, I mean, again, when I mean, I took an Uber to the airport
Mhm.
when I went on vacation a while back, and if they give you this list of, you could have a Cadillac Escalade for whatever price, and then it works its way down, and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, whatever gets me to the
I, I,
airport, yeah.
right, send me a Prius, send me a
Uh-huh,
Kia. I don't care.
uh-huh.
I really don't care. I'll take the first available. Whoever can be
Mhm.
here on time, you know,
Yeah,
and
mhm.
and I don't want to be in a car where somebody has smoked, and I don't
Right.
want to be interrogated the entire time.
Mhm,
But the whole I had I was here in DC recently, and was with a friend, and um, she booked an Uber for us to go for about 8 blocks,
mhm.
and we needed to get there quickly.
Sure.
And she ordered up a big old Cadillac,
Oh.
and I was like, "Why? What?
Yeah,
Who? You're not proving anything to me. You're not proving anything to anybody else. Why the cat? It's 8 blocks.
yeah,
What's the point of this?"
that's funny.
And there are people who are just like that. I think Meghan and Harry are the same way. It's like, oh well, it's like, it reminds me of the story that I related once before, and credit to Maureen Callahan, who has a great channel, by the way. I think it's called The Nerve.
Mhm,
Really a lot of good content on there, including a lot of Meghan and Harry content.
mhm,
Um, but she talked about being at a party at the Hamptons, and she ran into somebody who was very into spending a ton of money and all this flamboyance and wearing
mhm,
fancy clothes and jewelry and everything. And she said, well, it was well known that this person was having some financial difficulty, at least to Maureen. And she said, she asked this person, why are you continuing to spend the way you're spending? And the
mhm.
response from this person was, because if I don't, people will think I'm poor.
Oh, what
And
a weird
again,
way of
that's,
thinking, yeah.
yeah, but think about Meghan though.
Yeah,
Think
no, I
about
agree.
Meghan.
Yeah, her pride wouldn't let
That
her.
there has to be some element of truth that
Mhm,
relates that mindset, this woman up in the Hamptons outside of New York City. There has to be an element of that
yeah,
has a relationship to Meghan.
I
If
think
I
so.
don't wear all this fancy stuff, if I don't have the Cartier watch on, if I don't have the whatever $3,000 pair of shoes on, people will think I'm poor and I'm failing.
Wow, yeah,
Whereas so many other people would just say, you know what? I don't have anything to prove to anybody, because my wine tastes great, my fruit spread tastes great,
mhm,
I'm a whiz in the kitchen. People are comparing me to Martha Stewart for all the right reasons as opposed to all the wrong reasons.
right.
You get the point.
I
It
do.
is such a degree of overcompensation for
Hmm.
the shortcomings that she has in so many other ways.
Yeah, I think
Very
so
interesting.
too. It
Very
is.
interesting.
It absolutely is. Would you rather work for Amber Heard or Meghan Markle for 1 week?
Oh,
If
Amber
you
Heard.
okay, how come?
Amber Heard. Um, I'm no fan of Amber Heard, by the way.
Mhm.
No fan of hers. But
She might be able to
I
fake nice
think,
for her.
what's that?
I just said she'd probably be able to fake it a little bit longer than Megan could, like the being a normal
I think
person.
I think Amber Heard. I mean, I sat in the courtroom and made eye contact with Amber Heard momentarily, obviously. But I think Amber Heard has some decent qualities that would probably be endearing.
Mm,
If she wants to behave herself, she knows how to do it.
okay.
I think her problem is that when she decides that she wants to turn on you, she's capable of doing so in a very unpleasant and unappealing and unflattering way.
Mhm.
But I do think that she has some good qualities about her.
Mhm.
I think the minute you got into Meghan's orbit, especially in in an authoritative type of relationship where she has a certain level of power and you are subordinate to her,
Mhm.
I think it would only be a matter of time before she got very, very unpleasant to deal with.
Yeah.
I think let me put this differently. Amber Heard, I think, at her core, probably is an okay person. It's that when she decides, and people I'm sure will disagree. I can hear the keyboards clicking already. When she decides that she wants to go after you, she can become very, very unpleasant. I think Meghan is a little bit of the reverse.
Okay.
I think Meghan is not an enviable person in a lot of ways. And to the extent that she puts on a happy face or a pleasant face or whatever it is, I think that that's performative.
Mhm.
I don't think she knows any better, quite frankly.
I got
I
you.
don't think she knows any better. Amber Heard, if I recall correctly, Amber Heard grew up in an affluent family. I'm sure she was taught some manners when she
Mhm.
was a kid. I'm sure she was taught, please, thank you, all of the normal social graces that presumably people have.
Mhm.
Uh, Meghan, I'm not so sure. I really
Yeah.
don't. I think that's part of the sort of uncomfortable mystery of Meghan is who is she and where did she come from? We
Mhm.
still don't know what the story was with her mother when she was out of the picture for so long,
Mhm.
apparently, allegedly, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, we still don't have a complete picture of her father. We still don't have a complete picture of her step siblings.
Mhm.
Um, we just don't know. We
Yeah.
just don't know. And again, that contributes to the whole I need more information before I truly feel comfortable around this person.
Mhm. I think so. Uh, so something else again, I'm becoming Meg. I'm tying it back to me, but this is just so interesting to me. Something that I talk about again on my other channel is I'm really into transformations. I always believe I can better myself on every like on things that bug me about myself. I try to work on and try to improve. And you brought up such a good point about Megan seemed to have a vision board to catch Harry, and it just never occurred to her to work on herself, to better herself, to become a better person. She just worked on the look of things, such as changing her Wikipedia, boosting herself on paper. I thought that was such a good point and really resonates with me as somebody who's constantly saying, okay, I'm going to work on this and that. So, talk to me about that. How did that, what is your thought process there?
Well, I'm reminded of the guy that I used to work for, and I've mentioned him before, but his comment which I think was very, very true and very applicable in this case, is what you learn after you know it all is what really counts.
Mhm.
Absolutely true. And I think in a lot of ways, Meghan is convinced that she knows it all and does not need to learn anything further. And that she feels that way. This is, again, just my supposition, but
Sure.
if she in fact feels that way, I think it's at her peril. She really does herself a disservice. And again, it goes back to the point about why does she keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again that drives everybody nuts?
Right.
She does not seem willing to work. It was in the context of the tenacity. There's
Mhm.
tenacity where you learn from your mistakes. You go back. You try to reinvent yourself. You try to better yourself. You try not to make the same mistake twice or
Mhm.
3 times or 10 times. Versus someone who seems to perpetually make the same mistake over and over and over again.
Mhm. I think so. I just think of the big picture. I mean, this is just a symptom of overall what's I think bugs me about both of them is they would rather just talk about doing these things than actually doing things. They would rather look good on paper than actually they talk about wanting to do good. They had the world stage. I don't think anybody should stay where they don't want to be. I'm not ever saying that. If they don't want to be there, don't be there. But my God, you didn't have to torch it all. Like that's the crux of everything. I think, the way that they have gone after the royal family and been so horrible. I don't know. I just think about that a lot. They've had more opportunities than the rest of us combined, and what have they done with them? Nothing. They do nothing.
That's
It's
exactly right. That's
mm,
exactly right. And again, I think about that speech that Harry gave in China a short time ago, talking about, or I don't know if it was Travelist or what
he had gone for
he was,
Travelers. Yeah. Uh-huh.
right. But
Uh-huh.
the idea that anybody would listen to a concept that was presented by Prince Harry.
Mhm.
I mean, everybody's complaining now that TED Talks have gone down the drain, and that there's all this nonsense. These people who stand up and give TED Talks and or TEDx or whatever it is, and it's the whole thing is totally spiraled down into something that it's like, geez, I don't want to waste my time. And I just think about Harry giving. I mean, the idea that uh, he would have something compelling to think about, that he would present an idea that would cause people to go home and say at the dinner table or wherever, that was really fascinating
Yeah.
stuff. You know, he's not Elon Musk. He is not Bill Gates. He's not um, John Williams talking about how he wrote the score for Star Wars. You know what I mean? It just like and this fantasy that he seems to live in, that says that he has intellectual mind bending thoughts to share with the world.
Right.
It's just remarkable, absolutely remarkable. And yet he keeps on doing it. I don't know if it's the money. I don't know if he's genuinely convinced himself that he's on some you know quest to save the planet or whatever, or maybe he just likes the attention. He likes the purported relevance. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
If I was thinking about signing up for a conference and they told me in the prep materials that Prince Harry would participate in the endeavor and give me and give a speech,
Mhm.
I would seriously have reservations about attending that conference, not just skipping the part where Harry attended, but
Right.
I would say this calls into question the mindset of the people who have organized this event.
Yeah. Same.
I would
Mhm.
look at that and say, wait a minute. something doesn't make sense here. You're going to bring this guy in
Right.
under the guise of sharing information.
Mhm.
It's like the scene in The Office where Ryan Howard uh, is is talking, and he sees Daryl, the guy from the warehouse, in the back of the room, and he says, "Daryl, what are you doing here?" And Kelly Kapoor, um, Mindy Kaling, Megan's friend,
Yeah.
her character says, um, "I invited him."
Uh-huh.
And Ryan says, Daryl, downstairs. This isn't information that you back downstairs. This isn't information that you need. And his response is, "Oh, there's information here.
Oh.
Please." I mean, that would be my
Oh.
reaction. If somebody said, Harry, you're up here and you're going to disseminate information. Oh, there's information here. No thanks. I'll go someplace else. You know,
Exactly. Yeah. Harry
he,
strikes
he
me oh, sorry, please, go ahead, Go
I was
ahead.
just going to say he is about as compelling a source of information on things like climate change and landmines and whatever, with the possible exception of Invictus. He is about as compelling a source of information on some heavy lift topic as Meghan is a source of information on how to run a familial kitchen or to make people feel welcome in her home.
That's such a good analogy. You're right. That's funny.
And
I
again,
was just
you don't have to have a PhD in psychiatry to intuitively feel that
Mhm.
as the vibe that they both give off. They
Yeah.
both are just they're talking about stuff that's so far over their head
Uh-huh.
that you just think,
What?
what
Yeah.
why? Why? What does he know? What does
Exactly.
he know?
Yeah. I'm
I'm not
telling you.
even interested. I'm not interested in even giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe. I'll just go see what I think. Nope, nope.
No. No.
And again, the guilt by association,
Mhm.
which is why there've been these rumors floating around. I mentioned Invictus a minute ago. There've been the rumors floating around that Harry's been booted out as patron of Invictus and he's been replaced with David Beckham. I don't know
Yes.
where that stands.
I hope that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. We'll just have
Uh,
to see. But again, that if in fact that's what occurred, I think it's like, we're trying to run a serious endeavor here. And again, the guilt by association aspect of it is probably something that the people that are doing the actual behind the scenes work at Invictus, they probably are thinking to themselves, do we want to be hitched to this wagon or not?
Make sure you follow John Witherspoon. He's Witherspoon DC on Instagram. Thank you, John, for your time and your thoughtful answers. Thank you all for your lovely comments. So many of you have said you love when I have John on. Me too. He's so much fun. And I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. There's still a little bit more of this conversation to go. So I'm just not sure. I'll just see what I'm up for. If I can record, when I can start making new episodes, I will. And in the meantime, I hope you're enjoying this. And yeah, that'll do it for me. Thank you for being here. If you're on Patreon, just be patient with me. I might be a little bit late on my episodes this week. I'm just really struggling, but I will be there soon. And I thank you all for understanding, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy, my goodness. All right, bye.